The meeting of the 5th District Board of Directors, please come to order.
God our Father, we are grateful for your many blessings to us and to our organization during the past year. We ask your continued blessing throughout 1971. We ask your blessing on each member present here and all of our membership as we strive to accomplish the goals of our organization. We ask these things in Christ's name.
Amen. Thank you. Roll call vote.
Mrs. Flynn,
Here.
Miss Yanish here, Mrs. Betty Lewington,
No.
Sister Kristen here, Miss Aiken, Mrs. Rittenhouse, excused, Miss Miss McGee, excused, Mrs. Sexton, Mrs. Tash,
Here.
Miss Peacock. Did anyone hear from Peacock?
Yep, she's been delayed today. She hopes to be here.
Miss Atkins, Miss Lewis, Dilday, Miss Armstrong, Mrs. Stanley. Miss Burns, is she going to be able to make it?
I haven't heard a word from her at all. Nothing about meetings or the calendar return or anything. She tried to get her several times. She didn't.
Mrs. Hughes? Here. And Mrs. Langford? She's not here.
Two copies of this. I saw her the other day, and she said she still was having so much trouble with her leg. Millie Byrne. Has some phlebitis,
That's
I
right.
think.
Well, she fell down the cellar step.
Oh.
It's just before Christmas. All right, we need to take some action on the revised minutes of September 21st. Are there any corrections to the revised minutes
Put it again.
of September 21st?
See, it came with this.
It should have come with a memorandum in the mail.
I have an extra copy. I believe it's tonight. I believe it's tonight.
I'll look at
Did you all get them?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
We're looking at the revised minutes of September
No, I
21st,
didn't say I
Betty.
didn't get them. I just, you found
We know what was wrong with them. I guess I was reading.
Well, mostly in transcribing, Miss
Of the
Monaco
chairman.
had put them under the wrong place.
Oh, I
Making
see.
the division
Uh-huh.
there.
Uh-huh.
Actually, it was in the transcription there, what it was. And the word appointed was changed to elected.
Elected to go along with the bylaws.
I think that's most of it on there.
It's really just mostly retyping, huh?
That's right. We've checked it and double checked it with Ms. Lewis and with ours too.
I move acceptance of the September 21st minutes as corrected.
Is there a second?
Too bad our sister was just, she put them on the wrong pew, that's all.
The minutes of September 21st then are accepted, approved as revised. There's a mouthful. The other minutes are November 9th, and there is one area of concern which deals with page 2, the third recommendation, which Rose has been working on over here and has come up with some sort of a revision.
If anybody didn't get them, I have 2 of them, sets of them.
This was
think I have enough.
This would read then that recommendation 3, that a position paper be developed on the state level on ethical, legal, and professional standards for the nurses in the state of Georgia. The position paper, when developed and accepted by vote in an annual meeting, be circulated to the membership of GSNA and to agencies employing nurses in the state. It was moved and carried that this resolution be referred to the Council on Nursing Practice and Economic and General Welfare.
Council's rose too.
And Economic and General Welfare Council.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Well, may I move that this language be substituted for what was circulated, and that with this change, I don't know whether there'd be
Yeah,
any
if
other
there's no
corrections or
objection,
not.
we can do it.
Okay.
I started saying that with
there's
this change, they'd be
there's a
accepted, but
question
there
now.
might be something else.
Margaret, you had a question.
I'm wondering a position paper on what? I'm just not caught up yet.
On the ethical, legal, and professional standards for nurses.
Don't you remember all that discussion?
She wasn't here.
She wasn't here.
That explains it.
When you send me that, then I'll write an official letter. Send it in its entirety to the state. As I said, I did not have it, and all I could do then was put in send them the minutes to Martha.
Are there other corrections to these minutes?
This needs to be corrected. She did not resign from St. Joseph's.
Well, I think that was, I don't know.
What do you want to substitute?
Left the staff
Left the staff or something because she didn't resign.
Yeah, that's a whole point, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I literally did not know, sometimes people do resign, though unwillingly and under protest, which could have been what happened
But
this
she
time.
didn't do better.
left.
Left the staff.
Are there other corrections?
Madam Chairman, I'm not sure.
What do you want? Excuse me.
She just said left the
Will
staff
that
rather than
communicate what it
resign.
is in terms of what, any future?
Well, Miss Luther would be the one, and she said that was,
Left the staff, severed her relationship with the staff, or, some term that doesn't say that she wrote a resignation.
She recently left the staff
that leaves it open.
and moved from the state. That's true, isn't it?
Madam Chairman, the other thing, this may be what was said, but I questioned when I read it on page 3 about the finances. We have $1,600 in a special account from GSNA Convention 1969. That part probably okay, although, is that the exact amount, Carolyn? Or was that just sort of roughly? I really wasn't questioning that part of it.
Roughly.
The month before will give you the exact amount, and then you got all the interest added on to it
Well,
today, the 82,
yeah.
1648.90, is that it? That's that
Special
one.
account conviction. I really wasn't questioning the amount, but if we do want to be exact, I think it's $1648.95. What I was questioning was the fact that the savings will be exhausted in meeting operational expense by the end of the year. I would say that it's possible that they be exhausted, because we didn't even, savings might not be the right word either, we didn't even touch the savings.
No.
I think what we were concerned about was that any money that we had, not just in savings, but operational expenses may be exhausted by the end of the year. Was this what we were talking about, Carolyn? I don't remember, but we weren't even talking about we talked about touching the savings, but we hadn't even touched it, so they aren't exhausted. And this to me is just too definite
vague.
here. It's vague, and the word that they will be, how do you know whether they're going to be or not? We didn't even touch the savings. I think our concern at that time was that our operational expenses may be exhausted by the end of the year.
You mean our
Regardless of whether we use
operational
savings
funds.
or operational funds.
Okay, well, I apologize, sister, this was what I
Well, that's okay,
understood,
it's
but
hard
I
to take it down. I would like to correct that to read operational funds may be exhausted in meeting expenses or something by the end of the year, meeting,
current
No, I think that
expenses.
will,
it's operational
Be better.
funds may be exhausted in meeting expenses.
Anticipated expenses.
Well, if you want to,
Well, I don't care.
just monthly any expenses,
Operational funds may be exhausted in meeting operating expenses.
even leave operating expenses. It's repeated
I was
words.
just trying to get out of repeating.
Okay, will somebody repeat the way you like, and I'll...
Operation funds, operation funds, may be exhausted in meeting, it's repeating operating expenses by the end of this year, but you could think of another word besides repeating that, did you?
I think you were saying operational funds. So
Operational,
it could be whether it was in the bank
Saving,
account or
okay.
in savings or where it
Well,
was.
would you say anticipated expenses or obligated
Okay,
expenses or
or-
something
yeah.
like that? In other words,
okay,
we know we've got so many expenses coming up, and
Well, I'm gonna start over on that one.
okay,
Let me,
operational funds may be exhausted in meeting anticipated expenses by the end of this year. It's still a little bit awkward, but
well, to me, that conveys the
the fact that
situation we're in, that if something doesn't happen, we're not gonna have any money.
meeting anticipated expenses. That by the end of the year really belongs somewhere. It really, by the end of the year, belongs after, if you can be from there. Operational funds may be exhausted by the end of the year in meeting anticipated expenses.
Okay,
wait a minute.
That reads a whole lot better.
yes, it does.
Let me back up, Madam Secretary.
Okay, operational funds
All right,
may be exhausted
all right.
by the end of this year in meeting anticipated
Are
expenses.
you gonna put calendar year? That was what you all were worried about.
Well,
Well, I was
calendar-
still a calendar year.
I mean, 1970 you were talking about, not
Right.
the year that you go from by
year.
election.
I'll say,
and
may be exhausted.
By the
What
end
I
of-
meant was the calendar year 1970, I understood that was
Yeah.
what the sister
Yeah,
meant, though if
calendar
I'm
year.
wrong, we ought to correct it.
for our secretary, now, is this the final draft?
She's gonna draft it.
I think
Okay. Are there other
hand
corrections
it
to
to
the
me.
minutes of
She drafting it?
November 9?
People read minutes, don't they?
Yes, thank goodness. Hearing no further comments, the minutes of November 9th will stand as revised.
Excuse me, Janet, so I can keep my
As
little copy.
corrected. Excuse me. The communications that I have are that I would like to really encourage you all to become somewhat more active as committees, because the association does depend upon committee action as a way of motivating and being a very useful force in promoting the association. So what I'm saying is, let's move a little bit. Rose, do you have a report? No. The treasurer report?
I have reports both for November and December. See, November, the balance forward from October was $1,733.98. And the receipts for that month, membership dues amount to $794.20, AJN $12, miscellaneous $100, which brought the total for the month for $906.20. And that added to the balance was $2,640.18. The disbursements: rent $80.50, telephone $88.75, salary $621.12, printing $48.52, postage and mailing $60.50, supplies and operational $60.13, AJN $10.50, taxes and payroll $139.20, miscellaneous $45, which brought a total of disbursements for the month $1,154.22. And clearing the bank for the month was $1,485.96. And the checks out were $50.45. And the agreement with the bank statement was $1,536.41. And on deposit at the Atlanta Federal Savings was $1,882.25. And the special account for the convention was $1,648.95, which totals $2,831.20. And note December brought forward from November was $1,485.96. And the receipts for that for December: membership dues $911.56, AJN subscriptions $4, billheads $3.75, and dinner reservations $342. And that brought a total of $1,261.31. And that added to the balance brought forward was $2,747.27. Disbursement of rent $80.50, salary $635.52, telephone $55.54, printing $71.07, postage and mailing $142.90, supplies $88.02, AJN $7, payroll taxes $110.40, and the friendship dinner $320.40. And that total disbursements was $1,511.35. And the agreement with the bank statement is for the month it's $1,284.86. And on deposit in federal savings is $1,218.92. And the special convention account has been put in savings, and we've received interest on that, and that brings it to $1,731.07. And the total with the savings is $2,949.99. So we didn't go bankrupt at the end of 1970.
We made $22 on the friendship dinner.
That was good management.
Are there any questions about the treasurer's report? The treasurer's report then will be filed for audit.
She doesn't keep a copy there. Sister keeps her copy, and we keep one on file at the office.
If y'all
in the
approve
headquarters.
I need some.
Or you put in the minutes that's on file.
If you like one, I'd be glad to make you one. I sent Miss Black one, and the president gets one.
Okay, unless, I don't need a copy, all I was saying is how much of each one in the minutes.
Yes, the report was read and placed on file.
File for audit, that's fine.
But she should have the balance, the total.
Yes, well, I'll be glad to add the next one.
Not detailed.
Well,
You won't just get the balance in the total for November and December.
The report of the Deputy Secretary.
oh, I tried to make you a little you up a little stencil after noon, and it seems that every time I do, the telephone goes on a rampage. So I have given you a little written statement there as to what we've done. We've 66 members less than we were at this time last year on the 6th of January. And one or two of the calls I had you may be interested in. I'll pass it on for information. And then one of them was that we had a call from the American Medical Association wanting us to help them publicize the meeting they're going to have here on the Rural Health Conference. So he sent us about 300 of the little leaflets there. If anybody's interested, there's no registration. It was Dr. Bible. So I wasn't sure that that was really the person, but he was, and he is in charge. Another one I had a while ago was the Educators Registry. I've never heard of it before. It's at Suite 737 at Lenox Towers. And she gave me the address and telephone number, and she wants people only on the college level. I don't know whether any of you know anything about it, or if you have any instructors, or you want to know about it. And then we had another call. He gave me the initials, PPD, I believe it was, and then after I asked him what it was all about, it's the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania Plate Glass Company, and they want a nurse for dispensary or infirmary. They want to have a very elaborate one here. But at any rate, the telephone calls have been absolutely...
What's this Educators Registry? Do you have a number?
Yes, I did. I copied it down because I think y'all might be interested in it, and I try to copy everything that comes in there, information, especially these new things that are being organized. She does not place any private either nurses, and she says she has nothing less than college level, and it's purely educational. So I had never heard of it before at all. The Delta man came by to see us, the sales representative who's been so nice, and organized our trip to the convention. And they're working hard, and who started, I don't know. We haven't had any information in there except through ANA and the Journal that they're having their operating room convention in Las Vegas. But somebody's getting up a special flight to go out there. And they sent us a letter of the time and the brochure, so if anybody's interested, Miss Flynn has the letter. Other than that, it's just been a very, very busy year. I will tell you this, when we sent out the 1,000 invitations to the friendship dinner, we had just finished trying to get the addressograph up to date, and the 1,000 calendars which followed it during the holidays, we only had 7 to come back. We still don't know where these people are. One of them's Francis Parkington, you may know, Brenda Payne, Karen Brooks, if any of you know, Dorothy Morris, Carolyn Hickey, and there's a Martha Patterson here. I noticed in checking last night with the ANA directory, she's at 8 Prescott Street. They never did get her dues on her. We have 50 of them that we approved, and either somewhere in the mail or ANA didn't send them a dues notice, or whether it was in the mail that was stolen. But anyway, Miss Polk's coming down tomorrow. We're going over the list. We do have 50 people that we've carried on as members for the year, because we had no way of knowing through the self-mailer whether they actually sent it in or not. We did approve them, and we did have them on our mailing list and the addressograph. We did not send them a vote, so I had all the envelopes we pulled. You know, they were not on the voting list because the dues had not been received. And I checked them last night, finished about 10 o'clock, and we still have 50 on that group. That would have been $500 for us and $1,000 for the state. So I think the self-mailer was not a very good, accurate way of following it up. So they felt we weren't interested. And many of those will have to go ahead and join again or give us the credentials.
To hit me straighten out another year.
Bylaws, Barbara?
I called Catherine Pope the other day because at convention, I can't remember, was it in board meeting, that they told, it's not a good word, the bylaws committee to have a workshop for the district bylaws committees. So I called her the other day to ask about this, if it was in the making, or if a date had been set, and she had been in touch with Ms. Schumacher, but no date had been set. So I think that's what we're waiting for for the district level.
Because that's going to be a monumental job. Charity, ethical, legal, and professional,
We haven't had a further meeting, have not.
have not.
We agreed to have one, to pass on recommendations to the state, and this goes to the state.
Legislation, finance, Ms. Black is not here.
We haven't met. We have not met.
Legislation, Mrs. Rittenhouse. Does anybody have a
She
report?
called me and told me, I did have this one from Miss Pope that you may be interested in. Said she went down there and registered the Georgia State nurses, and also they were registering the chairman of the legislative committee of the state to lobby. And they felt that unless we specially wanted it, there'd be no need for the district to do it or duplicate it or pay out the $5 for it. That as individuals, we are allowed to express our opinions and all, and if we did anything from a concerted effort, it should go, through the one group. And so, at any rate, she has been down there to see,
Do
to
we
talk
have
to
to
them
pay a
about it.
fee to do that?
$5, that's the new law.
Well, that
New law.
doesn't seem too.
And she did enumerate some of the other organizations that have, some of the medical associations did. And
Is
Ms.
she going to
Rittenhouse said she's
notify-
going to stand by. She was sorry she couldn't be here today, but she couldn't get a babysitter. Her mother had to go to a funeral, or there was something that made
The
it
adopted.
home. So she could not be here, but she would be having a meeting real soon and would be following this and whatever directives they had, that she would certainly act in the committee.
I'm not clear though, are we registered, have we paid our $5?
This district didn't, but the GSMA did.
Oh, the
Ms.
state.
Pope did it for the state to represent us, and the chairman of the legislative committee.
I think it's interesting to note too that so many people implied on that little slip of paper that they'd like to serve on the legislative committee, and this is sort of unusual because before we practically had to beg people to help with it.
Right.
But many people asked to be on that committee.
Joe, this may be relevant, and if everybody already knows it, just stop me. That Dean Grant has been appointed to the Board of Examiners and accepted.
Very good.
Do you know who else?
Now this I get into the realm of rumor, though I do think, I don't mind telling you where I heard it. Alda Ditchfield told me she was told this, that the governor, Mr. Carter, had said he was going to make the second appointment in February. Y'all already knew all
I know
this?
one, I think.
And, here again, I'm sure this is no secret. This was Senator Chapman who told Alda this, and he said, "Who do you all want?" And she said, "Well, of course I wouldn't name an individual, but we want somebody from our list." And he said, "Well, I've got your list." And
That's great.
so
Well,
it
that's
just
good.
looks like things
He
are
is
looking up
really
in
back
that
there.
area.
He's taken a real interest in it.
Yeah, Catherine Pope and some others went down to see the Governor-elect Carter and gave him the list, and they were very warmly received.
He was
And
great at convention too.
He pretty much told me he would select one from the list in February. And Governor Maddox selected Miss Grant before going out of office.
And I did ask her who she was replacing, and this was Alda and Mayor Cates. Maybe you know more, sister. They said they really weren't sure, but they thought it was Miss Sales.
That's what Catherine said she thought,
The Dean Grant's replacement.
and that the one in February would probably replace Dana. But, that's not all that official yet, but that's what they're saying.
Good.
Let me just ask one more question on this registration. Just in terms of educational, our state committee has, our state people have registered. Have they registered a person or have they registered a committee? I'm not clear how this works.
They registered Miss Pope,
They've registered Ms. Coe.
and I think the
Love
chairman is
Shelby.
isn't that her name, Shelby on?
Shelby Lacey.
Lacy.
And so these two people have
They,
been registered.
and have been
Okay.
registered. A lot.
Mary, membership.
Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
I have something fantastic to tell you.
Yes. Wonderful.
We're going for broke. We either do or we die this year, statewide.
Amen.
We've met twice in conjunction with program, and once I had 2 members present, and the next time I had 1 member present beside myself. Statewide, I'm chairman of membership, and I was the only one present statewide, and I became a part of EGW. And I can tell you what we're going to try to do, which sounds good, and if I can ever get my committee functioning at state level and at district level, we'll be in good shape. What we're going to do, we're going to, Catherine, I think you're the only one here that was in on this, aren't you? We're going to launch a membership drive, which is going to be a contest from March to May, be a 3-month period. This is statewide. Thanks to EGW, we're getting started off by their funds that have not been used, some of their funds. First of all, we're going to have a mass mailing by March the 1st to 14,000 nurses. This will include an editorial by the president. It'll have a membership chart comparing the doctors, nurses, teachers, and lawyers, and how their membership is like 98 to 100%, and ours is 25, a little less than 25% of active nurses. It'll announce the contest, of which we haven't planned yet, you know, exactly what the rules and prizes will be, but this is to be planned very soon. It'll have a list of how each district is to join and everything a nurse needs to know. There will be an article on EGW, and our goal will be 75% of the nurses to be members. Prizes will go to districts with highest percentage of membership increase. And we'll have a point system, you know, if an application is filled out correctly, 2 points. If it comes with an installment payment, 4 points, full dues, 6 points. And so prizes will be awarded according to point system. It'll analyze the benefits, discounts on A&A insurance, AJN, literature, and then there'll be a questionnaire asking what each member wants GSNA to do for them. Okay, these questionnaires are to be returned in a prepaid postage envelope, or it'll be on the back of a card. Then when they're returned, we'll have a mass mailing number 2, which will have a booklet in it, which is Let's Go Shopping. And this will ask the members, after they've returned these questionnaires, this will present things we want and how we can get them, according to what the results of the questionnaires are. And hopefully we will have increased membership by this time up like 2,000. If we don't, it's either go for broke, you know. It's either we do it or we don't. If we don't, Bob doesn't have a job and he's gone. If we do it, we've increased membership tremendously and we've been successful. It's going to take a lot of work, and it's going to take a lot of work by everybody, and since I can't get the membership committee to be active, the program committee has actually, we've had more members of the program committee at the meeting. Yeah, Helen's, you all had all of them. So I've gotten a couple of letters from people that didn't want to serve. So when we get this thing set up precisely statewide as to how we're going to do it, we'll have to do something district level to get more participation. But it sounds great. I think we can do it if we try and if we're really interested. And it's either go for broke, you know, it's go for broke or we have nothing.
Have you thought about any telephone or, you know, any kind of contact, personal contact, besides mailing? I know it's a mammoth
Every
undertaking.
time I call, before a meeting, I call everybody that's on my committee, and 9 times out of 10 I can't reach them or they can't come. And then one has told me she doesn't want to serve. Membership committee, we've sent out referendum votes, well, both district and state, and I've only heard from one person. District, we sent out one. And state, we've sent out some, and I've got, you know, 4 members on the committee, and I've only heard from one member, and this has been over a month ago. So I've got the same, you know, type of a response, really.
You didn't get mine. You
Mm-mm.
didn't get mine back.
I didn't get anybody's but Linda Carroll.
Well, that makes
That's
one
the only one
referendum
I
vote
got.
and one renewal notice I didn't get.
That's the only one I got.
I wasn't thinking about your membership committee. That sounds pretty bad if they aren't responding, but I was thinking about in trying to get new members. You know, mail can be just so effective, you know, if you would have a telephone service. It's really draining and time consuming, but that personal contact a lot of times means more than just getting something in the mail.
Well, we're going to try it by mail statewide because this is how we can reach people by mail. And we got the cards that were sent, the mass mailing, would you be interested in membership, etc. We got many, many replies, and from 5th District, we got back a stack of cards like this of people asking for applications. And as soon as Bob gets a list of those, I'll give them to Carolyn. But EGW is also working on this because this is the base of their operations. They've got to have members.
This little card we sent out while you're talking about it to all of our new graduates, didn't get a chance to write them a letter, so we sent it in a little concise one telling them also that they were going to extend the time for the chartered members, you know, for the insurance. You'd be surprised to know that we got about 8 of them. Here's one from Charleston, came in this past week. Got one from Columbus, one from Letterman General in California. And we're getting members. We didn't know whether these new graduates were going to stay in Atlanta or whether they were going back to their homes.
But our problem is we're getting some new members, but we're losing more old members than we're getting new members.
Through what, Mary?
Well, like I said,
Several
first
people
thing,
have
so-
told me that, you know, number one, they weren't receiving the mail, they weren't receiving the literature, that they had written and asked about it and still didn't receive it, and they weren't going to bother with it. The dues increase has knocked a few out. The fact that really, what do we do? What really do we do for nursing? What benefits do they really get out of GSNA? Which is something, hopefully, we're going to work out with this statewide membership and really be able to point out what we can do. Because
I think
the
too,
lack
don't you,
of
Mary,
interest.
that the emphasis on this unit, wait a minute, chapter business will, I just really see this as the hope of the future, where people can identify in the place where they work with their colleagues.
Right.
It's a common center for input.
Rather than having a whole group of people from various and sundry places who don't have many of the same common interests, but a local concept. It has potential. We can really succeed or we can fall flat on our face.
As a board, Mary, how can we help you?
Well, when I meet with Bob next week or week after and find out exactly 1, 2, 3 how we're going to do this, I'll be in touch, because if I can't get the committee together, I've got to have the board's help. You know, and then I'll let you know exactly how you can help. The program committee is helping. They're my friends.
I was really interested in the announcement about the program at the meeting this week. I got that.
They had it last year, but they were
Well, we didn't need too many people. you get too many, then you don't have enough time to do anything right.
But anyway, this is something that sounds good, it's something that we could really work toward, it's something we have to work toward.
What would be the hope in getting, a representative from nursing service in every hospital that is a member, and orient her to what you're gonna do, and see what they can work up in each individual hospital? Because you're just not gonna be able to do it by sections. I mean, general D sections, we used to make phone calls and, you know, talk to people and reason till we were blue in the face. Yes, we're gonna come, and meeting night shows, and there isn't a soul, you know, and you can't get a common reason. There's a lot of little excuses and a lot of little reasons, but nothing that you can really say, this is why they're not coming.
I just think they don't have enough incentive to make an effort to come
Right.
because they're not, there's nothing that much again that we're offering
Right,
per
right.
meeting.
We've got to provide something that's gonna stimulate their interest, and I think we have key people in just about every institution. I don't think there's any institution that we're not represented by somebody.
Well, we used to, when we had the membership meetings down at Postulin Infirmary, always invite nursing service to either come or to have a representative. Automatically, that went to them, and if y'all would like for us to do that with this,
What meetings is this, Carolyn?
for your membership meetings, that, someone
Should
from
your committee
nursing.
be made up of representatives from each?
Well, they weren't actually made up from them as a committee because we'd be too large and we couldn't get our referendum vote and so forth and all, but they were invited to attend all meetings. A card automatically went to all of the directors of nursing service for them to be present or to send a representative from nursing service.
We also,
And that was an active committee. It was the best committee we've had in my 10 years that we've been.
we have a legal hang-up here because we have to function under our bylaws that says we elect members to committees. So therefore, in order to have any sort of a subcommittee membership, there would have to be a motion made to the board that we do this so that you get approval. It is a possibility.
Can't any committee invite anybody to meet with them they want to?
Yeah, but they can't,
They don't have
they don't have
votes.
votes.
Well, they can't vote.
Well,
They
allowed
can't have
voting
anything to
is
do with
not
it.
all that important anyway.
But what I hear Mary saying is she wants working members.
See, I haven't heard from Ms. Tash.
I've been working.
Ms. Tash, I haven't heard from you. I'm going down the list. Charlene Rose, I haven't been able to contact. Mary Kate, you wait till I get her. I haven't been able to reach
I was
her.
just looking over, you've got 7 committees and they're,
And they
now
asked
Beverly
her,
Waters
too.
has been real active. What
Mary
happened to
Hicks
her?
can't come in the afternoon.
Beverly, I haven't
but
been able
she's
to
working on
find her.
membership.
Annie, I'm finding out just had surgery. Linda Carroll has asked to be removed from the committee.
Yeah, she works through 11 too.
Charlene Rose is, 35.
Helen is the only one that's helping support me.
In the program committee.
Right, Helen and Marie Gunston. Both times, these two, I bring Marie with me, she knows me.
She doesn't have a choice.
Right, and I know Helen's gonna come barring a disaster. So, you know, we can't, everything that we do has to be done by mail, by referendum, if we can't get the folks. And, I don't know what's happened to Mary.
I mailed in all my referendum.
Are they coming to you, Carolyn?
Mary, no,
I've
no,
only
I didn't
gotten-
even know you'd send a referendum vote out. I sent one on these members so we could have them to present today, and I've gotten mine back from those two.
You sent one, because I got one from Linda Carroll that I haven't sent one.
You haven't. Well,
Uh-uh.
I sent 2 referendums for the membership, and they have been back to the district.
Yeah, well, why did I get one?
You on the committee. I needed your vote.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering, because that's the only one that you sent,
I sent 2 of them.
on district.
I got 2.
We've sent 2 for membership.
Okay.
Well, we're meeting at Carolyn's house next time.
Oh, I got one, but I'll mail it back.
Where are we? Somebody tell me where we are.
She wants to make a motion for a subcommittee for this special membership
Yes.
drive.
That's the
Let me
motion.
have a piece, ma'am,
I'd like to make.
cause we'll have to be ready to get going.
Let's see, I move that we give membership authority to appoint a subcommittee to implement the membership drive.
Second?
Okay.
Catherine, second is the motion. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion is carried. You may go out.
Recruit for
We're
your-
going to appoint this board.
I would expect every member of the board to contribute what they can.
May I ask a question? Does a subcommittee figure into a quorum of a committee meeting?
We did.
Yes, please.
The subcommittee answers to the committee. If that subcommittee is handled as a subcommittee of the membership committee for the drive, then it would answer to the membership committee anything that they do. Then the membership committee has the authority to go ahead.
Well,
Even
are
if
we
it
would
right
not
then
be
that
two
this, isn't a subcommittee usually a part, a small segment of a committee?
Under. It's a committee under something, anything